Hello, this is Frances Herdis, and in the night from the 27th to the 28th of December, you'll enter into the third rough or holy night, and it's all about opening your heart and being loving towards yourself and towards others. The moment you yourself are full of love, that moment you can give and receive love. But if you're really hard on yourself, if you judge yourself very harshly, or if you comment on what you're doing very harshly, and you just give yourself a hard time, in that moment you often close your heart. You don't really let the energy flow, but instead you kind of punish yourself. So it's all about opening your heart and let the loving energy flow again and connect to the love that you always have within you. That's what the third Holy Night is about, and I'll show you an exercise how to let the energies flow again. I myself, I've been on a Laijin bench for the last few days, which is from the traditional Chinese medicine. It's like a massage table, but you put one leg completely up, you have a piece of wood that keeps your leg up, and the other one is hanging from the table, so you actually stretch your muscles really. And that also activates the energy flow in your meridians. And the arms are like this while you lie on your back. And today I had a very deep experience while I was lying on the Laijin bench. It was amazing how the energy in the body was flowing again, how the heart opened up as well, because of course that's where the energy flows through as well. And I really felt, because sometimes through the heart we feel a lot of things, sometimes it's our own emotions, sometimes there are things in our life, people, relationships, circumstances that almost break our heart, or we break the heart of other people or other beings. And that all goes through the heart. And sometimes we can become really hard in an energetic way. It's like a snail house around our heart, or it's like an energetic rock around our spiritual heart. And the older we get and the more unresolved pain and issues we have, the more you can see it in a person's face as well. Some people, they have their mouth like this and they don't really smile anymore. They don't have any reason to smile, and because they didn't release things from the heart, emotions from the heart, things that really hurt them or almost broke their heart. And that's why it's so important to always let the energy flow, sometimes let the emotions flow as well, and to be loving and kind towards yourself and others. So today I was lying on that bench, and suddenly I felt this overwhelming flow of emotional energy. And I saw an inner picture. I was there, my eyes closed, and just stretching in a relaxed way. Sometimes it hurts as well. Some things in Chinese medicine, they are quite effective, but they hurt a little bit while you do them. And it's because many people don't really move around that much. They don't stretch that much anymore. And stretching and moving is so important for the meridians to be flowing. So I was lying on that bench and suddenly I felt the energy of my grandma, how she held my grandpa in her arms while he was dying. And I felt that overwhelming emotion. It was just flowing and flowing, and I felt her heart and I felt her sadness as well. And it was like a rain shower in summer, when the raindrops, they gently fall on you, and then you are all cleansed and the air is fresh. And it felt like that, like a rainy shower in summer, which is cleansing, which is releasing. And I felt so peaceful and was wondering, wow, how we are all connected to our families. So through the heart you might feel a lot of things. You might feel your own emotions. You might feel past things that you experienced, past hurts or past heartbreaks. You might also feel the sadness sometimes or emotions from the people around you. So especially around Christmas time when there's a lot of sadness around people as well. On the one side of the spectrum, you have the connectedness, the family celebrating Christmas. On the other side, you have people who are alone and they get all these emotions. And then, of course, you are also connected to your family. So sometimes you might feel an emotion through your heart that directly comes from your ancestral line. That's what I felt today, and it was very moving, very releasing. And that's a special time of the Holy Nights, because in each Holy Night, in these 12 nights between Christmas and the 6th of January, there are special portals open for us, special states of energy and special topics where we can tap into, we can connect ourselves with them, and that can really open us up to release very, very old stuff and to also create consciously the year and the months that lie ahead. So when it comes to opening your heart and feeling your heart's energy, there are 3 fragrant applications and 1 good exercise I'll give you, similar to when I'm lying on the Lai Jing bench. You don't need such a bench at home, although it's very good. I mean, the energy really flows, although it's painful sometimes in the muscles, but it's all a thing of practice. Yeah, but I'll show you an exercise how you can let the energy flow in the upper meridians, your heart chakra, your arms, your lymphatic system here. That's what I do every day, and it just feels fantastic. Lets you release a lot, lets the energy flow a lot, and you just have a feeling of wellness in your body. So the first fragrant application today is geranium. Geranium helps to cleanse the emotional heart. I use geranium on my spiritual heart. Just let a drop fall here. And what I also often do is make sure you have a therapeutic grade essential oil that you can apply on the skin. There will be different labels for essential oils. One of them being oils as nutritional supplements, which you can drink, like the lemon peppermint cleanse I often recommend. Then there are essential oils that you can use cosmetically in massages on the skin. And then there are essential oils that you can diffuse, that you can use aromatically. They have different labels, but overall you should make sure you have the right quality of the oils. So why I'm saying that is, geranium is a highly cleansing oil on an emotional and energetical level, so you can use geranium to release in the emotional heart and to feel the unfolding of a beautiful geranium flower in your heart again. And then I often apply it on the abdomen as well, and between the legs on the root chakra and also on the genitals. Make sure you only do that if you already know essential oils on other parts of your body, and make sure you have a fatty oil handy, just in case it burns a little bit, but usually it's a very pleasant oil. That helps you to cleanse energetically in that whole area of the abdomen and the whole area where we get close to our closest partners when we are in a love relationship. Maybe throughout your life you've had different partners with different energies, with different topics, and geranium is a very good energetically cleansing oil. For the heart's energies, for the heart's emotions, and also for the whole abdomen. Imagine all the energy you take up when you go throughout your life, and you might have different partners in the decades or sometimes centuries that you live. So that's the first application, and it's all about opening up again. It feels like, geranium feels like the flower that grows through the street, through the asphalt. I always find that amazing that somewhere there's a road, there's a street, made of concrete, made of asphalt, and wherever there's a fissure there, wherever it's broken a little bit, the roots of a tree or the grass or the flowers, it just grows right through it. That's how nature is always growing and always conquering its space, its natural habitat. And also sometimes it happens that a tree, the root of a tree or a very strong plant, it even breaks through the concrete. Have you ever seen that out in the street or near the houses, near buildings? Sometimes Mother Nature and her plants, they just break through the concrete. And the flowers, they are very soft, they are very fragile in many cases, but on an energetic level, they are like the grass, like the roots that break through the concrete. I'm saying the concrete because sometimes through our experiences or when someone broke our hearts, we even swear to ourselves, I will never open up like this, I will never love like this. And then we build like a wall of concrete around our emotional, our energetical heart, and the flower oils, they really help us to open up, just like the roots growing through the concrete, just to give you a little picture of that. So the question you can write down in your Holy Nights journal with geranium: who or what has really hurt you in the last 12 months? You might think of a person, of a circumstance, and also another question, what really shut you down emotionally? Or that you stopped opening up so much to different people? And when you immediately think of a person or a circumstance, maybe it's time now to leave that behind you. Maybe use a little bit of forgiveness or geranium to clear those emotions and to let them go, to leave them behind you, to be able to open up again for all that the new year have to offer for you. So who has hurt you in the last 12 months? What has closed you down? And where would you like to open up a little bit more? It can be in a relationship, it can be in the relationship with a partner or with yourself. When you've been especially hard on yourself, very judgmental, very non-loving, it's time to open up again. It's time to break through that concrete just like the plants do. And whenever you use geranium, you can apply it on your spiritual heart, on your abdomen, you can smell it, and you can imagine that beautiful flower inside your heart, how it's unfolding again. You know, flowers, they grow in all kinds of circumstances, sometimes on top of a house. Sometimes they break through the concrete with the whole plant. And sometimes they just bloom and blossom in a beautiful flower garden. So imagine that beautiful geranium flower unfolding in your heart again. Whenever you went through emotionally challenging experiences, use geranium to release that, to cleanse the emotional heart. Geranium is also an essential oil of the likes and dislikes. So I'm really curious, when you smell it the first time, do you instantly like it or even love it? Or do you instantly dislike the smell? Geranium can help you balance those likes and dislikes. So whatever happens to you, you just go with it. You just make the best out of it. Because sometimes when you are a chooser, oh, that doesn't fit or that doesn't fit, you miss the best opportunities. And geranium helps you balance that. That's the first fragrant application for today. And then the second one is one of the very best heart oils for the spiritual and emotional heart, and that's rose oil. Rose oil, this is Rosa Damascena, and it's one of the most precious liquids on this planet because you need 3 tons of rose buds to produce 1 liter of essential oil. And it's only the rose buds, they are picked by hand, and whenever a green leaf or something from the stem gets into the distillation, the rose oil, it becomes bitter. So only the rose buds, the flowers, are picked, and you need 3 tons to make 1 liter of essential oil. And if it's a dry year, you even need more. I think it's about 4 tons of rose buds. So you see, it's a highly precious liquid, one of the most precious liquids on this planet. And it also has the second highest frequency. Do you know which essential oil has the very highest frequency? Do you know that already? Well, rose oil has the second highest frequency. And what's very interesting about frequencies, everything you think, everything you feel, even your healthy body or your ill body has a certain frequency. And whenever you are in that state that you make yourself small or you are too harsh on yourself, then you lower your frequency. Also, when you're in a very negative state from your thinking or emotionally, or if you're around negative people, if you don't have a good energetic protection, that will tear your frequency down. It will bring it down. So, whenever you have positive thoughts and emotions, the feeling of gratitude, for example, has one of the highest frequencies. And whenever you focus on the love and the flower unfolding in your heart, you really raise your frequency just by visualizing vividly the state of gratitude, the state of love, the state of kindness, that immediately raises your frequency. And it's always your choice whether you stay in a sad mood or angry mood or depressive mood for 5 minutes or 2 hours or a few days or a few weeks. Just raise your frequency with essential oils, with these exercises as well. While you focus on gratitude and love, you instantly raise your frequency. Of course, there are some conditions, health conditions. If you are mentally ill, for example, and really have a depression, of course you need professional help. But what I was saying is the daily or the seasonal down states that we sometimes have. Sometimes we feel happy in our daily lives, sometimes we feel sad. We go through all kinds of emotions, sometimes even an emotional roller coaster. And yeah, that's where Rose comes in, because it opens you up for the love, it opens you up for oneness, so that you really rekindle the flame of love, of passion, of oneness within your heart again. Have you ever felt a state where you felt disconnected from everything? Where you might have been in a grudge, or somebody might have said something in the wrong tone to you, and immediately you cut yourself off, and you are like in that heart made of concrete, the spiritual heart embedded in like a bowl of concrete, and you don't open up again, but instead you go into that snail house, you make yourself small, you're in a grudge, and that is where you cut yourself off from the universal oneness, which is at all times in your heart. But when you cut yourself off, making yourself small, then you really feel like you are just left there, or you're just disconnected. And that's where rose oil comes in. Like I said, if you resonate with one of the topics in a strong way, in a special way, just circle it or make a little star next to it and start with that oil, with that application on the 1st of January to do your first 30-day application of the year. And rose oil is especially for people who are very hard on themselves, who feel disconnected, who feel left behind. And what's also one side of the spectrum of being loving, of connecting to other people, the other side of the spectrum can also be being jealous. Are you a jealous person? When you look back through the last 12 months, have you often been jealous? Or was it maybe just 1 or 2 times and then you can just leave it behind? You might have been tired that day, but are not generally jealous. But if you feel that there are quite a lot of situations where you easily become jealous, then just be aware this is the other side of the spectrum. One side is being very connected to people, and the other side can be jealousy. So the moment you reconnect to the oneness and to the love, which is always within your spiritual heart, then you feel connected again. And then you don't feel the jealousy because you're connected to everything that is and everyone anyway. So if you're a person who is very hard on him or herself, if you are jealous or you cut yourself off, make a 30-day application with rose oil. The feeling is almost indescribable, and my wish for you is that in this lifetime you should have a rose anointment at least once. It's really opening up, it brings you into the flow, it connects you with your heart's energy and all of the qualities that your spiritual heart has. It kind of brings you into that loving state, in that connected state. And when you do a 30-day application, then you will feel how you open up again and how you become a very loving and radiant person. So the questions for the third Holy Night that you can ask yourself, and also for the month of March, where we go through your goal setting at the end of this video, the question you can ask yourself with rose is, the moment you are jealous or cut yourself off, ask yourself the question, how would it feel right now if instead of cutting myself off, I would be connected with everything? How would it feel right now if I just opened up my heart, left my ego behind me, and just connected to that situation and to those persons again? That's a question that can bring you out of the state of disconnecting yourself or shutting off from your heart's energy. And then, of course, rose helps you. I love it. It has the second highest frequency, helping you to raise your frequency. And like I told you in the last videos, essential oils carry your intention very well. So if you have an oil that has a high frequency, those are mostly the spiritual oils. There are oils that are on the same frequency like different organs or different emotions, and then the higher the frequency, the finer often the oil is, and the finer you can use it as well in your spiritual life. So the second highest frequency is rose, and the very highest frequency is Idaho blue spruce. I saw this tree, or a lot of these trees, on the farms in Idaho. It was on the Highland Flats farm. They have a whole forest with Idaho blue spruces, and they have such a beautiful blue and green color. And Idaho blue spruce has the highest frequencies and is a great emotionally balancing oil, and also a great oil for men. Alright, so rose, it comes behind that one in the frequency, but of course it has the more heart-opening qualities, whereas Idaho blue spruce more has the grounding and aligning qualities. The third fragrant application for the third Holy Night is a blend, a special blend, which also has the color of different flowers, and it unites rose essential oil, geranium, different flower oils, because the flower oils, they open up the heart. You can always imagine the beautiful flower opening you up. And this special blend is also combined with citrus oils, the sunny oils, which always bring you in a good mood. The good mood oils, the happy day oils, you could say. So this blend is called Joy, and it's a blend of different flower and citrus oils, opening up the heart and also inviting joy into your life. You can diffuse it in your living room when the whole family comes together. especially around the holidays. You can also diffuse it in your office to create a harmonious and joyful atmosphere. And you can also apply it on your heart chakra, and like a perfume, like this, behind your ears, in your spiritual heart, and just invite the joy. And that's one of the secrets of happiness. If you wish to be happy, you are the one to generate that happiness. There's no circumstance, no other person who creates that happiness for you on the outside. Otherwise, you would be very dependent on that person. But you are the one who consciously creates the happiness. If you want to have happy relationships or a happy conversation, a joyful conversation, you are the one who raises that level to that joyful level. And that has a lot to do with frequency as well, and with the state you are in. One of the secrets, for example, is many people from the many videos I did over the years have told me, oh, whenever I watch your video, I really feel better afterwards. Or you are just so radiant, so happy all the time. And one of the secrets is to smile. So that's also an inspiration for the new year, or even starting right now. With joy, you can ask yourself the question, how can I bring a brighter smile, or how can I smile more? In German there's a saying, how can I put the magic of a smile on my face a little bit more? And how can you inspire others to be more joyful? Those are the questions you can ask yourself with joy. So next time you see a stranger, or you see your partner, or your best friend, or your kids, just smile. And I don't mean smiling in an exaggerated way, but in a very kind and loving way. And next time there's a person around you who doesn't feel so good, or who is negative, you can smile for them. You can, you smile at them, but not in a mean way, but in a loving and kind way. You just gently smile, and if you know that person, you even touch their shoulder and ask them, hey, how are you doing today? And that really opens people up as well. And you can bring a smile on another person's face. For example, you can set it as your goal. I want to, put the magic of a smile on at least one person's face a day. Make one person happy a day. So they smile at you and they really radiate that happiness. And with such simple things you can do, you just smile yourself, then you are in a much more happy mood, and that also reflects on the other people around you. So joy is all about that inner smile, which becomes the outer smile. It's all about feeling the joy in your heart as well. And then, of course, you can wear joy as a perfume at any time. So these are the 3 fragrant applications: geranium to cleanse and release your emotional heart, rose to open your heart to be loving, to be kind towards yourself and others, and joy to be joyful, to invite the joy to every situation, to every relationship, to everything in your life, even in your mood every day. Those are the fragrant applications. And you can use them in your meditation. You can just apply the oils during the 3rd Holy Night. You can use them when you meditate, or when you start your day, or whenever you are in a mood that might not be so joyful. And then here's a very nice and stretching exercise you can do to open up all the flow of energy in your chest, in your spiritual heart, and also here in your arms. For that, I've been on the Laijin bench for the last few days. That is very balancing. That comes from ancient Chinese medicine. But if you don't have such a bench at home, you can just stand in front of a wall and stretch out your right arm at first, like this, 90 degrees, and imagine you're in front of that wall, and now your hand and your whole arm stays on that wall while you turn a little bit to the left side, stretching the whole muscle here in a gentle way. And that really opens up your chest and the flow of energy in your chest, and it opens up the spiritual heart as well, all the energy meridians which are around there. And after a minute, however long it is comfortable for you, you stretch out your left arm against the wall, and with your chest you stand in front of that wall, and then you gently move to the right side, stretching this whole area. That really opens up not only the spiritual heart, but also we'll get to feelings of guilt, which you can carry through your life, which are basically in this area. And by stretching it, you really open up your chest. You probably feel it in your breathing as well. It becomes deeper, and also energetically a lot more energy flows. And that's one thing you can do. And then you can also, how do you say? Today the words are missing, but you probably get the ideas. You move your fingers or even your whole hand, and you clap a little bit gently here in this area. And you can also clap here to activate your lymphatic system. You can clap along your arm and on your hand as well. And when you do that for a few minutes, however long is comfortable for you, you really activate the energy flow in your meridians. And that's my experience. I told you the story about releasing my grandma's emotion that I told you in the beginning. It was all released, which has previously been blocked probably. It was all released just with the clapping and letting the energy flow again. So these are two very good exercises to let your energy and the meridians flow again. Use the oils to help you in the different qualities. Geranium, cleansing the emotional heart. Rose, opening up for the love and kindness as well. And joy, opening and awakening the joy within you. And then, so that's what you can do in the third holy night. In the third holy night, now we get to your goal setting. It stands for the month of March. So in March of the coming year, please write down in your Holy Nights journal, how do you want to feel in March of the coming year? How do you want to feel emotionally? How do you want to feel in your body? What are your fun goals? Things that are really fun for you, that open up your heart and the heart joy spontaneously. And by the way, when you sit there and visualize, make sure you have a big smile on your face. Not an artificial smile, but when you visualize your goals in the right way, you're just as joyful as a little child. And like I explained or showed to you yesterday in yesterday's video, when you visualize so vividly that it not only puts a smile on your face, but you get in a state like, oh my God, I've reached that goal, then automatically your whole being becomes joyful. And some goals you can imagine like that. Some goals you might have a karma energy or a certainty, an underlying certainty that you already have reached it. And in that way, imagine your fun goals, your spiritual goals, your money goals, your physical goals, your emotional goals. How do you want to feel in the coming March? Which projects do you want to do? Which goals do you want to reach? Write it down in as much detail as possible. Use rose, joy, or geranium to open up your heart and really find the thing that gives you the most joy. And that also helps you to open up to things you might not have allowed yourself until now. Things where you wanted to punish yourself maybe. Oh no, I'm not worth it, or that's not for me. So when setting your goals for the month of March with these heart oils, spiritual heart oils, also ask yourself the question, what is it that I have never done, that I might have punished myself, or I just didn't realize that for myself, because maybe I thought I wasn't worth it, or that's not for me. So what have you always wanted to do, but you didn't allow yourself to do that? Write that down in your goal setting as well. Because by opening up your heart, you let the joy flow as well. And also, you follow your heart's joy. What's the most fulfilling for you as well? Maybe those are some new goals, some new dreams that you're going to fulfill next year. When your heart is open and when you are loving and kind, then you can also go on new discoveries in your goal setting. Alright, so that's for the third Holy Night. It's all about opening your heart and being loving. It's the night from the 27th to the 28th of December. And you can use the spiritual heart oils, geranium to cleanse and release emotionally, rose to open up for your heart's love and joy, and the oil blend joy to just invite a joyful state. Then you can do the exercises I showed you, and use your Holy Nights journal to really write down and visualize your goals vividly. I wish you a lot of fun with the third Holy Night, and if you want to watch the videos about the different oils, or you want to get some of the oils, just go to livefragrantly.com. And when after the / you just put the oil name, like geranium, rose, joy, and then you get directly to the video. So enjoy the third Holy Night, and I'm looking forward to your experiences, what kind of experiences you make in your body, or emotionally, or spiritually. Let me know here in the chat box. Also, feel free to invite friends, to invite people who could benefit from this by just tagging them in the chat box here. Alright, I'll see you again at midnight Central European Time. Tomorrow we'll go through the fourth Holy Night. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to your experiences. Have fun and see you tomorrow!